15 and 16. And I don't know until 16. So, all right. 14, 15. And then we'll do another one for 16. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, to the Bayashah Debadat, the house of David. I am Ayash Tab.
I'm correct with that.
All right, and we're coming to you with a lesson through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and the lesson is going to be on the lesson is going to be on the Willie Lynch. All right, this Willie Lynch manual. All right, and this is going to be their third series. All right, so it's going to be part 3. All right, of this lesson that we're getting into. All right, and this is a live one. Other ones have been pre-recorded on our other channel, Men of Valor, Las Vegas 12. All right, if you want to check those out through the Spirit, and Lord willing, we'll post this one up there too. All right, but without further ado, we're going to have the brother Darash go ahead and read. Yeah, Kaka, say Negro.
Right. Accordingly, both a wild horse and a wild or natural Negro is dangerous even if captured, for they will have a tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in doing so might kill you in your sleep.
Con. All right, so this Willie Lynch manual. All right, and can you read the header on the other page? Because it's a continuation from part 2.
All right, the header is "Let's Make a Slave."
All right, this is making a slave. All right, so that too. I mean, you can read both of them.
There's also cardinal principles for making a Negro.
All right, so these are let's make a slave. All right, and the cardinal principles of making a Negro slave. All right, so these particular things happen to us from the curses. All right, and you can find most of those curses in the book of Deuteronomy. All right, especially between chapter 28, all right, on down. All right, but you obviously can find the curses in the whole book. All right, but go ahead and continue reading.
You cannot rest. They sleep while you are awake, and are awake while you sleep. They are dangerous near the family house, and it requires too much labor to watch them away from the house.
Because Esau Edom knows who we are. All right, they know exactly who we are and what bloodline we come from. All right, we come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who has the promise. And what does our promise entail? All right, the children of the Most High. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Argentinians, Chile, all right, all the way down to Mexican. You belong to the Most High if your father's line goes back to those bywords. All right, so they understand and they know that you come from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is a man of war. All right, so they know how great you are. But due to us disobeying the law, statutes, and commandments, we lost who we are, and we forgot how great we are under the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Right, because we're nothing without him. All right, go ahead and continue.
Above all, you cannot get them to work in the natural state. Hence, both the horse and the Negro must be broken, that is, break them from one form of mental life to another, keep the body and take the mind.
God, but isn't that, you can't get Jake to work. Why? Because Jake likes to dwell in tents, right? Jake, it's lucky. Jake likes to chill out. All right. He likes stays at home, roughly paraphrasing scripture. That's what Jake likes to do. He likes to lounge. All right. The men and women of our nation like to lounge. All right, through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because we are to do the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And that's the only work truly in our spirit that we desire to do. All right, to bring forth his words, proclaim his prophecies. All right, even the 2/3, all right, like to lounge, even though they're after their father, the devil. They're searching, but it's not given and imparted unto them. All right, go ahead, continue.
In other words, break the will to resist.
Break the will to resist. All right, and then we have a scripture for that one. Break the will to resist. All right, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we break the will to resist. All right, so that we don't run away. But ultimately, it's because we were destroyed. Yahweh Shem Yahushai said he will destroy us for disobeying his law, statutes, and commandments. I think what is God.
Then I had a preset for the
God.
earlier for fear not the man.
It can destroy body.
Yeah.
God.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 25 and 28. Says, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
And do we have rule over our own spirit in captivity, especially? All right, these devils make us go off through the air that we breathe, through the food that we eat, to the water that we drink, to the clothes that we wear.
Those spiritual chains.
God, and the spiritual chains, continuously on Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, all the way down to Mexicans. All right? Native Americans. All right, go ahead and continue. Oh, you said
Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
So Yahweh Shem Yahushai said, fear him. All right, that is able to destroy body and soul in hell. And this is our hell. All right? And Yahweh Shem Yahushai has destroyed our bodies and souls in hell, and especially 2/3. All right? Especially those who have truly offended Yahweh Shem Yahushai are getting destroyed, body and soul. All right? That's why you see these bug outs walking around, these false prophets. All right, body and soul. All right, some Yahweh Shem Yahushai is preserving until that time. All right, but you see these jakes out here bugged out on drugs and got 2 limbs. All right, and that's just a simple carnal example. All right, go ahead and continue.
Now, the breaking process is the same for both the horse and the Negro, only slightly varying in degrees.
Hey, this devil compared you to a horse. All right, a wild horse to be broken. All right, he breaks you and treats you as if you were an animal. When you're Yasharel, you belong to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, fuck what these devils are talking about. Remember who you are and whose you are. You belong to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All right, you're not a Negro. All right, you're not a Mexican. You're not a Puerto Rican. You're none of those bywords, because that's what they are, bywords. Go ahead.
But as we said before, there is an art in long-range economic planning.
These devils made merchandise out of you. All right, we are merchandise unto these devils. Merchandise. How much better are we than a bale of fucking cotton? All right, they made merchandise out of our nation. treated our women like harlots. Salakia, just
So that also goes into if you look behind the truth of Black Friday when they
God, look, we got it right here.
yeah, there you go. We're right there where it says
Put it in front of the camera for you. Right? This is Black Friday. This is what Black Friday is all about. It's a sale for your so-called black self. All right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, but especially you Negroes on this chart right here. All right? That's that Black Friday sale. That's what it goes back into.
an option to see who would be the best Negro who would entertain their oppressor.
Right. This is Job 3 and 3, and they have Job 3 and 3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
These devils have, look, buck breaking, all right? Buck breaking alone, all right? Raping a man in front of his family. Not only just raping a man, okay? Which is abominable, all right? Sodomy. But to rape him in front of his wife and his children. His wife and his children. That's why you devils are going to pay. That's exactly why you're going to pay. Through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But we're not going to do nothing to you at all until Yahweh Shem Yahushua rises us up to the prey. Abarachas out, we be those men. Then you devils will have to pay with the fury and anger of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
You must keep your eye and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse and the Negro.
These, you devils, all right? And you other heathen ass nations. It's not excluding you, but we're chiefly talking to the puppet master, all right? The puppet masters to the so-called puppets, all right? Read that again, Salakia.
You must keep your eye and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse and the Negro.
Keep your eye on the female. And go ahead and continue to read. And this is why. This is exactly why you did that, why you continue to keep that eye. And to this day, that our women are destroyed. Destroyed. Go ahead.
A brief discourse in offspring development will shed light on the key to sound economic principles.
To the key to sound economic principle. Why? Because you're nothing but a number. All right? Your social security number is your cattle number. Your cattle number is what pays these fucking devils. You have a stock behind and a price behind your social security number. That goes into the hangman theory, but that's a whole nother thing. All right, but you are nothing but stock to this nation. That's what you are. You're stock. The stock market was made on your back. Go ahead.
Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations.
Concentrate on the future generations. That's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. To this day, to this very day, it said earlier in the book, 300 years, if not thousands of years. If you're not pissed off about this, you are tripping. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua destroyed us for disobedience, and you 2/3 continue on with the same shit.
And they focused when they were young, to get them while they're young. And what are they doing now? They send your child to school. They put them through that
Indoctrination.
Right, and then what does that teach them how to do? Is become, a slave, to this society.
To be a good old boy.
Right.
to be a good old boy, to follow Master's rules.
To go to college and then go get a job, be a part and contribute to this society, which contributes to what their pockets and to their economic
Planning
right.
for generations. Generations. All right? Have they had us in captivity? Generations. Go ahead, continue.
Therefore, if you break the female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development, and when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you, for her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in its original breaking process.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That goes to all you mothers out there. All you mothers. All right? We understand that you love your children, which are our children. All right? They're our children. They're not yours. All right? They belong to us. All right? In truth and honesty, they belong to the Father first and foremost. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, every male child belongs to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and female child, but every male child. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai says, my tabernacle is of men. All right, so your sons belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai first and foremost. All right, and being the seed of the Father, in ancient times, when there was a divorce, the man would get the child, not the woman. When she would get her bill of her divorce to walking papers, she would leave with no substance. Nothing. That's including children. You came with nothing, you leave with nothing. Go ahead, continue.
For example, take the case of the wild stud horse, a female horse and an already infant horse, and compare the breaking process with two captured Negro males in their natural state, a pregnant Negro woman with her infant offspring.
Right? So they set this plan up, all right? Because most jakes at that time did have kids, all right? To grow your family, hey, be fruitful and multiply. We are those children. So a man without children, a woman without children, or a child starting a family was pretty much unheard of unless she was barren, unless he was barren. All right? Go ahead and continue.
Take the stud horse, break him for limited containment. Completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in comfort.
Rewind.
Completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in comfort.
Rewind one more time and slow it down just in case they didn't understand.
Completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in comfort.
So when you females, all right, when you sisters out there, all right, and women of the world, all right, when you sisters are out there talking, especially to some other nation, all right, it is a spit in the face. It is a spit in the face, not only to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, but to the men of your nation. Especially talking to an Edomite. Especially. Why? Because this is how he treated you. He broke you until everybody can ride you. So you became a harlot. He made you the hope that you are. His indoctrination made you a woman that gathers abroad and is friendly to other men. That's why if you're with a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you're supposed to keep your mouth closed unless you were spoken to, first and foremost, by your husband. Eyes down, not looking around, turning to look at every Tom, Dick, and Harry. If your eye is not on your man, if your eye is not on your family, then your eye better be to the Lord. If it is not on the Lord, then it is to the ground. Go ahead. Slocky, he had a concept. You can pull both. Go.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 29. It says, "And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee."
God, we're spoiled, we're oppressed, and no man should save us. All right, there is nobody who can save us but Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We are destroyed as a nation. As a nation, we are destroyed, still to this very day.
Written on it says, "Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein."
Look.
Read that.
There's a rewind.
Verse 30, "Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her."
There you go.
Thou shalt, you want to,
I mean, you look, this is a curse from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Ultimately, because we men, all right, of Israel, are the Most High's woman. All right? And as we turned our back on Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, all right, as our women turned their back on us, we went sleeping around with other gods. It is in our very commandment. Matter of fact, somebody, look, I'll pull it. We're just going to get it. Let's go ahead and get it for them through the Spirit. All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 1. "And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me." So later on, when we enter, when we entered that covenant, we went off almost immediately as Moses went up into the chariots to get the 10 commandments, all right? To get the laws, statutes, and commandments, which we know there is more than 10, all right? But to get the laws, statutes, and commandments for Israel, we went off, all right? And we had Aaron, and you can read the account, all right, in the book of Exodus. You know, I believe you can start at chapter 33, you know, and read on back. All right. Actually, it's lucky. You can start at 25 and read on back. Yeah.
All right. Read the mare and the stud until you have the desired offspring.
These devils used to make us sleep with our mothers, our sisters, our next of kin, our mother's sister.
Where do you think the term motherfucker comes from?
God, like there's it's right there. All right, this is what these devils have done for generations. How long were we in captivity and slavery? All right, we've only been out of slavery how long? 120 years, 140 years, maybe. Slocky, I don't know the exact math. All right, but we've only been out of slavery so long. But in that time period, what also happened? You didn't even find out till you were free until how much later? That's why Juneteenth happened. Juneteenth, you know, that's now a national holiday. When you were free, but you didn't become free. You didn't know you were free until 20 or 30 years later. Go ahead.
Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again.
Hey, and then they said you can go back. You can go back to where you came from, back on that plantation until we need you again. till we need you to pop your sister again, till we need you to pop your mother again, or any woman, or any other man's wife that is on the plantation. All right, till we need you to pop her. All right, even though she belongs to another man, you're gonna pop her because you're the stud. You're the stud that I desire. Why? For my economic claim.
You know, that goes into Psalms 83. You know, they take crafty counsel of thy against thy people and consulted against thy hidden.
God.
You know, and it shows you their craftiness because when they're making you do all that, when they're forcing that incest, you know, it was a tactic to dumb you down. You know, and you know, get, you know, a retarded generation. You know, and then after that retarded generation, you know, they like they say, bred them to be so smart, but then let them get all the way there. You know.
Sorry. It said you have a it's like you not only have the Stockholm syndrome created, you know, and this is the beginning of it. To love thy oppressor. All right, that's why Yahweh Shem Yahushai says, "Envy not thy oppressor."
I got a precept to go. All right, this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
Oh.
Right. And that monsters is talking about children that are disfigured, deformed, or born with disabilities.
It's talking about this monstrous generation. All right, it's talking about these generations that don't know Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's talking about these generations who don't care to know.
A wicked generation.
A wicked generation.
You know, you can see the decline in morality in these younger generations. The kids these days, you know, they're more wicked.
God.
You know, even that you know, goes, you know, the Edomites kids are devils from from the womb, you know.
God.
But
they were after their father, the devil.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab this. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, "And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable."
Esau, Edom, the base, all right? The base of all nations, the base of all men against the honorable. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, all the way down to Mexicans.
The honorable seed. And you got, you know, and this, as we're speaking, like, this younger generation don't have no respect for their elders.
No, none.
They'll tell you to shut the fuck up.
God. Hey, two shits about where you are, who you are, where you're going, and what wisdom you can impart unto them. Shit, even worldly wisdom that may help them in their world, because we're not of the world. We just live here.
It says, "Train the female horse whereby she will eat out of your hand, and she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also."
Hey, that's why you have these mama's boys. All right, you have a bunch of mama's boys, effeminate men. All right, you have the LGBTQTY. All right, you have that whole scene over there. All right.
That's to emasculate the male figure, you know.
God.
Because, you know, that's one of their MOs.
God. And you know what? You can't emasculate Esau, Edom. Right? You can't emasculate them because that's their nature. Right. That whole Greek spirit,
Right, that when in Rome,
God.
where that came from. Same thing in here in Vegas, but what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
God.
That's the same. That's that same term.
It's the same exact things that continue to go on reincarnated.
Right. I'm looking at this precept. This is Deuteronomy 28:56. It says, "The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son and towards her daughter."
Right. This is exactly you women, all right, of our nation. You have been played. All right. You have been plagued since the garden. Since the garden, you have been plagued. That serpent, Esau Eden, all right, has plagued you.
Right. Fed into that energy and got wickedness out of it.
God.
And then promoted it. And then continued to promote it. As his right hand as his right hand
Willie Lynch is gonna say it.
right.
He's about to tell you right now. He's about to tell you what you do, right now. He tells you how he set you up to do exactly what the scriptures say. Go ahead.
When it comes to breaking the uncivilized Negro, use the same process, but vary the degree and step up the pressure so as to do a complete reversal of the mind. Take the meanest and most restless Negro, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male Negroes, the female, and the Negro infant, tar and feather him, tie each leg to a different horse in opposite directions, set him afire, and beat both horses to pull him apart in front of the remaining Negroes.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Go back and read those last two sentences. And this is for educational purposes. This is American history. This is American history. This is what America has done off the backs of slaves. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, Argentinians, Chileans, and Mexicans.
And they were doing this to, the stronger ones that still had, that pushback and had that
masculinity.
They were strong willed,
God.
They weren't they were the I'd rather die on my feet than on my knees.
They weren't scared of their oppressors.
God.
All right, I'll reread it again. When it comes to breaking the uncivilized Negro, use the same process, but vary the degree and step up the pressure so as to do a complete reversal of the mind.
To do a complete reversal of the mind. Step up the process and do a complete reversal of the mind. All right? Yeah, a whole 360. All right? To trade. This is what is that movie? Trading Places.
Right.
All right. This is exactly what this devil did. He physically put us in strengths to trade places. So now the man is no longer masculine. All right. He's became an effeminate. All right. He's become a metro. All right. He's become LGBTQPYZXOP. Right. Everything but what he was made to be, especially the Israelite man. That's why you got Diddy, all these stars and everything. And then you just got average Jakes out here just ridiculous.
This is 2 Kings.
I'm trying to watch my mouth.
This 2 Kings chapter 21 and 14. And Shalom, Yahbashim Al-Shabrak.
Shalom, Yahbashim Al-Shabrak.
So 2 Kings 21 and 14, it says, "And I will forsake the remnant of my inheritance, and deliver them into the hand of their enemies, and they shall become a prey and a spoil to all their enemies. Because they have done that which was evil in my sight, and have provoked me to anger since the day their fathers came forth out of Egypt, even unto this day.
God. And that's once again because we disobeyed the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai as soon as we entered into the covenant. Shortly thereafter. All right?
Give time for the Most High to do His work.
No. You know? We were, what is that word we said? We wasn't even wet behind the ears yet.
Right.
You know? But here it is. We had Aaron. Once again, you can find that account in Exodus, starting at chapter 25. All right? We had Aaron make a golden calf, an image, all right, of Baal that we worship as a nation, all right. So we will be judged as a nation. All right. Go ahead.
Take the meanest and most restless Negro, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male Negroes, the female and the Negro infant, tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a different horse in opposite directions. Set him afire and beat both horses to pull them apart in front of the remaining Negroes. The next step is to take a bullwhip and beat the remaining Negro male to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill him, but put the fear of God in him.
And they said they're going to put the fear of God. The fear of God. And you're right. That's what they did. Ultimately, why? Because we lost our fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So he set the base man over us. All right. What is roughly paraphrasing the script? Oh man, it's Salakia. It's Salakia. Amaraj is out. Come back.
What you think about?
It was you know, not only don't fear those who can destroy body, as we read earlier, but it was also it slipped my mind. Salakia.
I'm gonna grab this stuff.
God.
This is Isaiah chapter 14 and 14. So I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. You know, that's what Esau trying to do. He try to just like he want to put the fear of Yahweh, you know, by Shem Yahushai and his slaves. He's doing that out of self gain, you know, and to be like the Most High, because that's what he want to emulate. You know, so he could stay in his position of power.
God. You know, and that's continuously that Esau Edom does this. All right, he still does that to this day. All right, through his police departments. All right, through his military. And the difference is he just doesn't do it to Jake. He does it around the world now.
Now he branched off and started going because Jake wasn't enough for him.
God.
Because they want that new world order. They want to do that. You know, he's Pinky in the brain. You know?
God.
The whole world.
What are you doing today, Pinky? Same thing I do every day. Try to take over the world. This is devil. Never satisfied. His belly is never full. All right.
And you got the two sides, you know, in that cartoon. You know, that's E, you know?
God.
Because you got the base man, E, and then you got the smart version of E that is dwelling and dwindling all this wicked.
God. Hey.
I read the last part. Don't kill him, but put the fear of God in him, for he can be useful for future breeding.
So he could be useful for future slaves.
Right.
All right.
Because they're gonna break him down to where he can't move, but still use him. That's that. I think there's a book called Anthem, you know, and it's pretty much like they breed like that, you know. It's like that show Handmaid's Tale, you know.
God, like it said earlier in the book, destroy the body or destroy the mind, keep the body. All right, you physically wound one slave's body, all right, to make an example. All right, I'm originally from the South, so as far as history in that era, in that case, I'm a little bit more in touch with, just a little bit. But you know, that is that's something that continuously goes on, and once again, it still goes on to this day. All right, look at the prison system. All right, the prison system all over. All right, but you know, y'all brothers got anything on this?
No, we didn't pull Daniel 4:17 from perfect.
Pull Daniel 4:17. God. You said Job 30 and 30. And we could just go, if y'all want, we could just read through this. We don't even have to cut the video. We just read through it. Just continue on. But if we can cut it, I just got to go to the restroom right quick. You know, we actually have, we're going to continue on this book. Akim, Akwat, they're tuning in. Salakia, I got to go to the restroom right quick. But we are going to continue on this. And we're gonna make another one, but it'll be here live. Give us about 5-10 minutes, Abarataza, and we'll come back and continue on this lesson. Right? But go ahead and actually get what you want before I go.
That's true.
Kaka, you got one?
Yeah, Job.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 12. I'll start at verse 12. Because he hath loosed my cord and afflicted me, they have also let loose the bridle before me. Upon my right hand rise the youth, they push away my feet, and they raise up against me the ways of their destruction. They mar my path, they set forward my calamity, they have no helper. They came upon me as a wide breaking in of waters. In the desolation they rolled themselves upon me.
God. Walk it. And ultimately, who's that too? All right? That was the devil. Devil coming down with great wrath. All right. And through his generations, this devil, even though this devil is coming at right now, all right, the devil is knocking at the door right now. That devil for generations has been perpetually, gradually coming down on our nation. All right. They have only let Israel grow so big for so long, and then they have to kill off 2 or 3 generations, all right, to keep that number down. Because if we were ever to outnumber them at that time, all right, it was a very fearful thing. That's why the whole rap culture happened, gangster rap. That's why the crack epidemic happened. That's why the Tuskegee experiment happened. All right.
What do? They do that also, to lose the history. It gets lost in the history. That's why he don't like that critical race theory being pushed unless they can control what gets brought out.
God. All right, but Abarazan, this portion was edifying. Once again, we'll be back probably about 10 minutes. Through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, we just want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all you Hakim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listen learning to the Bahashem Devadat. For the next time, this is Minna Valor Camp. To the next time, Shalom.